Hello everybody, hope you're doing fantastically well. Yes, it's Connor. We are back here with another One Leeds video. We're back here with some more content for you guys. Before we start the video, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. As always, there's loads of people in the chat at the minute who are in Dublin and Australia and all this sort of good stuff, which is fantastic to see. 123 of you in the building. If we could get 100 likes, everybody, it is free. So make sure you do us a solid, please. And we'll get into the video as soon as possible. I'm just going to get into a few of your comments. Just going to be a live stream, guys, today for around about 20-ish minutes. I know you guys have got to get to work. I do too, but I thought I'd pop on just to give you a little update on everything that is Leeds United. I wasn't on yesterday. I wasn't on the day before, I believe, either. Commitments, but listen, we're trying to provide the room meal every single day as much as we can, and even if we don't, we'll get some, little bits out here and there as well. So let's get into the comments. How you, Connor? Morning, Connor. Great to catch you live. Off to the game. Hope we can get a win convincingly. This is obviously Leeds United playing Cardiff tonight. I'm in Brighton, but Leeds through and through. Good lad. Normally Taiwan, but today Northumberland. Beautiful part of the world. Morning, Connor. Hello, Juan from LA. Fantastic. It's great to see all of you guys from everywhere. It's fantastic, even if you are from Leeds. Hope Connor is a bit more positive than his usual doom and gloom. Andrew, why are you here, mate? And I'm not doom and gloom. If you ever catch the room mill, it's very, very positive. I don't understand why people who think I'm doom and gloom are in the live stream, but there you go. Now he's still on hold. Morning from Petaluma, California. How you, David? Hope you're all right, mate. Okay, let's get into the thick of it, shall we? Leeds United in talks with agents to complete the signing of Azzedine Ounahi, obviously the midfielder. We've been speaking about him several times on the rumour mill, but it looks like things are finally coming to a conclusion with Leeds United, Napoli, Leicester and the Angers Star. Leeds United are in talks with the agent of Azzedine Ounahi as they look to seal their third signing of the January transfer window. Speaking on the Made in Africa podcast, obviously Fabrizio Romano, the Don journalist, has said late yesterday evening, that the Whites have made a proposal to sign the Moroccan from French club Angers this month. They are currently discussing the deal, but the Whites don't want to overspend. So it's going to be it's key really for Leeds to get this one done for me. The overspending thing's interesting. Listen, I understand that people don't want us to overspend, but that's not our problem. We don't need to be getting flashbacks from the Ridsdale era. I think this is a little bit different, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm really excited by this one. I hope we can get it done. It looks like, with the Rutter deal, I should say, Leeds actually overpaid. The negotiation was a little bit frantic toward the back end of the discussions with Hoffenheim, and it looks like the negotiation really started to ramp up towards the last couple of days, which is hence why we didn't really hear anything. So yeah, this happens in football. Transfer deals, as we saw with the It's Coming Home documentary, are not just a signing on a piece of paper and it's done, it's sealed. No, it is a long process. So when you've got a player like Azzedine Ounahi, who Napoli have said yesterday they would prefer to sign him in the summer, that is maybe something Ounahi's looking at. He might just think to himself, do you know what, I'll stay at Angers for the rest of the season, and then we'll make our move to Napoli where they have a little bit more money. It's a fresh season. I can really develop in that role in the Napoli side. Then, he's got some top players around him. Napoli could have won the league by that point, who knows? But I do think the Premier League is a massive, massive factor when it comes to players on the continent, and especially a Moroccan player. 100%, an African player will want to play in the Premier League, definitely. He's probably dreamt of it, like we hear from a lot of African superstars. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see if we get this one done. I think it's going to be something that Leeds 100% can get done. So yeah, keep an eye on this space, but allegedly it's getting to a point now where Ounahi has to make his final decision. I think that's right. There needs to be a non-negotiable now. We need to understand where his head's at, where his agent's head at. Does he want to come to Leeds? Does he not? We'll have to wait and see. Damal said, Ounahi is not coming to Leeds. Move on, boys. CDK part 2. A few mates I know in the club have saying it's more unlikely. Fair enough. Hi Connor, how you Binky Fish? Hope you're all right, mate. 6 with the 2 signings. Oh, we're talking about how would you rate this January transfer window? I'd probably at the minute 4 or 5. Once again, we need to get business done. We need more positions done. There's rumours of Leeds United going out and signing a Portuguese international. I think he's around about 18 years old. Loads of discussion at the minute about Charlie Cresswell leaving on a permanent. That would make sense if this lad was to come in from the Portuguese setup. So yeah, we need to keep an eye on that one. Cresswell going out, I'm not really 100% sure that's the right move, but maybe the club don't see him as a first team player. I think they'll regret that, to be honest with you. But But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Elliot said Angers want him back on loan. I've read that as well. So yeah, if Angers want him back on loan, and listen, Napoli are all right with just leaving him there for the rest of the season and going in the summer, that's going to be a massive advantage. Do I think that we will go and get Azzedine Ounahi? My mind has changed a little bit. I don't, and I don't want to be negative. Of course, it's just my personal opinion. It just feels like there's a lot to do on that one. It feels like there's a hell of a lot to do. So yeah, I don't think they'll get that one done. I think he clearly wants to move to Italy. So hopefully Leeds are going to be looking at different targets. Who knows? But I think that's the right way to go, to be honest, having 2 or 3 targets. Morning, Connor. Being totally honest, do you think Marsch's time is up? We'll get onto that, mate. It's a nice little segue. Jesse Marsch obviously will be coming up against Cardiff tonight. It could be his last game. There's loads of chat online at the minute, apparently, that it could be the last game for Jesse Marsch if he doesn't get it right. I don't think it'll be his last game. I think Brentford will be his last game. Obviously, there's loads of reports online saying, Ounahi and his agent won't sign for Leeds. I've read until something is done, or Rad Rizani is putting the brakes on until something is done with Jesse Marsch. I think this is the end for Jesse. I think it's going to come very soon. There's no way he's turning it around. Look, you might be a Jesse Marsch fan, you might not be a Jesse Marsch fan. I really try and stay impartial with Jesse Marsch. You've got Twitter no profilers who seem to think that I've got an agenda and I've never backed Marsch up. That's absolute rubbish. If you guys have been part of the One Leeds Fan Channel for best part of a year and a bit now, you will know for the first 4 or 5 months, and actually towards the back end going into the summer, I was massively keen on this working for Jesse Marsch. But unfortunately, the signs started to come to light for me very, very quickly in the season, especially with the first games that we had and us not being able to pick up points and him talking in the media. And there's no bias from me. There's no agenda. I want Jesse Marsch to do well. I think little weirdos online who seem to think that people who create content have agendas. Why would we have agendas? We're Leeds fans. What purpose would an agenda have for me? What purpose? I want my club to win games. I want to come on here and speak about Jesse Marsch being a success. That's what I want. But I don't think that's going to happen. The worst case scenario is us going for another managerial change, because another manager might want a different type of squad, might want a different type of player. Why would you want that? Why would you want that? That process happening again after we had that, after Marcelo Bielsa. You want this to work. But I don't think it's going to work for him. I really don't. I think the system is too fragile. I think he's had the best part of a year now to sort this, and the defensive fragility, which we were told was going to improve, is still the exact same as it was under Marcelo Bielsa. And, that's not improving. We are still conceding over two goals a game, which consequently means that Leeds United are having to score 2 to 3 goals to win a game, which is not sustainable. And if it's not sustainable, you get relegated. It's as simple as that. And bringing someone like Jorginho Rutter in, you can't be of the mindset that we brought Rutter in, we need to score. The good thing is he's clearly going to become a goal scorer, but Rutter's going to have to help contribute now because we need to score 3-4 goals a game to win a game. That's just not sustainable. Just bringing a central midfielder, potentially bringing another centre back, work with the side, of course. But this whole thing about the players, you can't sack the entire back line. The manager and has to get the best out of this back line. He has to curate a system which is going to make Leeds more difficult to beat. And as I've said, everybody, this is not the worst defence the Premier League has ever seen. What I see online about this Leeds United defence is as if it is the worst defence of all time. Jesse can't do anything with this back line. They're just not understanding. Their football IQ's low. They're all rubbish. They're all garbage. This, that and the other. I don't think the quality of the defence is that great, but do I think there can be more done with that defence to make us more defensively solid? I do, yeah, 100%. A defensive base. We've not had a defensive base manager yet. Is that something the club do right now for the short term? There's loads of people talking about Rafa Benitez online. Would he make I'm not saying that's the right appointment, but would he solidify that defence a little bit more? Of course he would. That's not my pick, by the way. I wouldn't say that, but someone like Rafa Benitez is a defensive-minded coach. He is. We've had Marcelo Bielsa and Jesse Marsch, 2 managers who pride themselves on attacking fluidity. and dynamism. If you actually brought a defensive manager in for the short term to keep us in the division, who knows? But, that might improve. But there are definitely, for me, managers out there who could make this side a little bit more better. Better, bad English, Connor, could make this side better defensively. The back line of Alioski, Cooper, Llorente and Ayling finished 9th. Exactly, LB, exactly. And, there were the rhetoric is at the start of that Bielsa period, we were still conceding shed tons of goals. It's not true because we'd control the game. And when you had a ridiculous amount of possession, like this Leeds, that Leeds United side had, other teams can't get the ball. There were times in the Premier League for that, especially in the season when we finished 9th, Leeds would control games, and we wouldn't concede that many. But I'm not saying that. Listen, I'd still come on here and people can take their own narrative from it. I still think Bielsa was taking us down. But do I think Jesse Marsch will take us down? I do. Yeah, I do. And it's just my opinion. I could be wrong. These aren't facts. It's subjectivity, isn't it? It's just my thoughts. So yeah, I think this is. I think this is going to be a bit of a swan song for Jesse Marsch. You forget, everybody, that we are playing a team at the weekend in Brentford who are one of the informed sides. When Brentford last came to Ellen Road, they didn't have Ivan Toney. Do you know what I mean? Organisation, decent adaptive tactics would make a world of difference to our defence and cohesion. I completely agree. Bottom of the table, scrap is mental. At the bottom of the table is mental. It's going to be a real scrap. I don't care how we play. It's all about results. Jesse, yeah, I agree. And this is obviously, Jesse Marsch saying yesterday, essentially that he wishes football wasn't all about results. I understand what he means. Of course, he's saying that he just wishes it was focused on performances, but that's obviously not the real world. We've heard his interview earlier on this week. Once again, I don't have an agenda against Jesse Marsch, but it's just stop talking. 10 points in 15 games isn't enough. You can't keep doing interviews. You can't keep talking. You need to prove it on the pitch, then do your interviews, then go out and give your opinion on tactics and what the philosophy you're embedding, and talk on the previous manager after you've really proven yourself. And I think at this moment in time, less talk, more action. You offer opinion, Connor, and those no profiles can't accept a difference in opinion. I can't see how Marsch takes us higher up the table, even with better quality. I'm agreeing with you there, Barry, 100%. And I can't see him turning this round. I really, really can't. And if you can see Jesse Marsch turning this around, fantastic. But I'm not in the camp, and I don't think it's realistic. Leeds going out there and buying six new defenders, so Jesse Marsch then has an apt defence to work with, and then what if it didn't work? Then you're gonna have to get a new manager in anyway. But you can't just sack the entire team. You can't move on the entire team. He's had a lot of investment, Jesse Marsch, a hell of a lot of investment. You look at the expenditure, especially if we make more signings in this January window, which I think we will. I don't think we'll get Onahi, but I think we'll make another signing. That's real backing. The club want this to work. We all want this to work. But he's got to start showing more on the pitch. He has to start, as a manager, showing tactical nous. And I just see the same things week in, week out. So it is what it is, As Elvis says, a little less conversation, a little more action, please. Agreed, mate, 100%. So yeah, the full squad's been revealed for the Cardiff City game tonight. Looks like Bamford could play. Sinistera could make his long-awaited return as well. So it looks like we've got a lot of attacking profile. Brennan Aronson, Nonso, Harrison, Gelhardt, Rodrigo, Sinistera, Bamford. Obviously, Rutter can't play for this one. So I'm really excited, guys. I'm excited to see. I think we'll beat Cardiff tonight. I think we'll beat Cardiff convincingly. I really do. I just don't think they're a good side. They've sacked Mark Hudson at the weekend. And I think, the quality is going to, with players like Sinistera, players like Nonso, players like Rutter. It's a terrifying front line. It really is. Rodrigo, who's playing so well. Listen, we have a good forward line when everybody's fit. Pat Bamford, who... Will he get back to his old ways? Who knows? But that is a good forward line. And, if you're able to really bring up those defensive stats a little bit more, Leeds will be fine this season. And that's where you can kind of understand what Radrizzani was saying about us. It's impossible that we get involved in a relegation relegation battle. But, you know, we're in a relegation battle and we need points quickly. It's no good talking about performances all the time. We need points on the board. Performances, at the end of the day, I take a crap performance and 1-0 until the, you know, however many 1-0s we need towards the back end of the season to stay in the division. I don't care about unbelievable performances and glossy performances. I don't care. Go out there, win the game, get points on the board, rebuild for next season, because it's going to have to be another rebuild. It really is. So, I think you know we really need to you know, someone just said Phil Hayes tweeted. I'm just gonna have a quick look on what Phil said. Guys, just unless it's breaking news, which I expect it wouldn't be, because I've got something through already. Portuguese defender Diogo Monteiro 1 minute ago emerging as a target for Leeds United, about to turn 18, playing with Servette in Switzerland and capped at youth level, being identified as part of the anticipating talent programme at Leeds United. So there you go, everyone. A little bit of breaking news there from Phil Hay. Looks like Leeds are after another young defender, which I guess is great. I'm up for the players here and now. When I say rebuild, I mean if you're getting another manager in, if it's a completely different style, over time, Leeds are probably going to be looking at replacing a few bodies in that defence. It's not going to happen instantaneously, but that's what I'm talking about when it comes to a rebuild. Are we going to get an RB manager? Are we going to get someone with that direct style of football who plays narrow, compact and centrally? I don't think so. I think Leeds are going to go to a more possession controlled way of playing, which is going to be really a rebuild in the players' mental state, I think. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, as Slam Dunk says, another teenager, no impact on the first team. And I think first team players is exactly what we need. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you tuning in. It's been completely impromptu this morning. If we get 400 likes, that'd be amazing. Please make sure you subscribe to the One Leeds Fan Channel. Really appreciate all your support. As I say, I'm going to try to get these out every single morning before I start work. Guys, have a lovely day. I'm going to go tonight with a Leeds United 3, Cardiff City 1, and we're going to book the average. They're going to score 1 goal, not 2 or 3. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 Leeds win. Guys, the Brentford game is huge. It's absolutely huge. Informed team in the division at the minute. We'll have all your Brentford stuff coming on the channel prior. Have a good one, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.